This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Good morning, it's Monday, 6th October 2025. INEC's continuous voter registration is still on. Use the opportunity to register to vote. On the news this morning, Governor Fubara, FCT Minister Wike and Speaker Muonyili meet in Port Harcourt. Labour law expert reacts to the governor's plan to punish erring permanent secretaries. Rivers State Police Command launches campaign against drug abuse and cultism. Nigeria Medical Association completes examination on Nnamdi Kanu's health. And in entertainment, 23-year-old Emisi wins Big Brother reality show. Details of these and more after this break. Now, the meeting between River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his predecessor, the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, over the weekend is how we begin the news this morning. The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Martin Muonyili, was also at the meeting, which has also, again, stirred questions about the true state of peace between both camps. Pictures from Saturday's meeting, shared online by the aide of the FCT Minister, show Elders Council Chairman Ferdinand Alabraba, Sergeant Awuse, and Senator Magnus Abe in attendance. Crucially, no member of the governor's camp was seen in those images. The photos were posted on X with the caption "Political Family Fully United," but did not give further details. And as of now, there's been no statement from the governor's media team on the meeting. Meanwhile, as Rivers people continue to debate the governor's plan to punish permanent secretaries who allegedly aided illegalities during the 6-month emergency rule, a labor law expert, Dr. Emma Nwosu, says the governor has the power to act independently. Dr. Nwosu is a senior lecturer at the Department of Commercial and Industrial Law, Rivers State University, and he says any punishment will depend on the level of wrongdoing by each permanent secretary. He made this known in a chat with our correspondent, Ifechukwu.
Depending on the kind of infraction, there are infractions that you will commit as a civil servant that will be tantamount to summary dismissal. There is infraction you will commit that will be tantamount to suspension without pay. The rules are there. So at the end of the day, when the governor carries out his investigation, the information at his disposal, nobody knows, nobody has. He has them. So at the end of the day, he will punish them, of course, in accordance with the civil service rule. So I believe that the punishment that the governor will give, after investigation, will be in accordance with the civil service rule.
Nwosu also says anyone who feels unfairly punished can challenge the decision in court.
Anybody can go to court now. Why they are still in service? If they see that anybody is punishing them for what they think they have not done, they have a right to go to court to challenge it. Of course, the right to access the court is open to everybody, including a civil servant. So if a civil servant feels that his right is being infringed, the court is there. It's a constitutional right. The person can approach the court to seek redress.
Earlier, Fubara had warned the permanent secretaries who aided illegal acts during the emergency rule would be punished, a statement that has now renewed calls for a probe of the former sole administrator who oversaw the state during that period. That call is now growing louder. A social critic, Promise Dapper, wants the governor to also include the former sole administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ebok Ete Ebas, in any investigation.
He must expose acts of corruption. If you see that there were anomalies in the government, that's what a legitimate government, if it was a government by the people, not government or surrogates, that's the right thing to do. Even if you don't have the power to punish the man, you must be able to expose acts of criminality and fraud. You don't miss word when you are talking about such things. That's not acceptable. If you did things that were not constitutional, that were not legitimate, that were not legal, it must be said so. Those things should be brought to public domain. People must see them. You have to expose them, and it must be held accountable.
Mr. Dapper insists Rivers people should not expect much from the Fubara administration, describing it as a government by proxy.
The governor might mean well. The issue is the system. Saying you can have a government that cannot be independent, that cannot determine how the state should be run. That's the issue. You cannot have a government by proxy that will be entering into agreement, signing some surreptitious agreement, people dictating or controlling from somewhere, a government that can be removed anytime and reimposed anytime. That is not what we are talking about. They will need a government in Rivers State that must be government of the people, that have been independent, that will be free of every form of shackles.
He also says the way the state is currently being run shows that Rivers people have lost their right to self-determination. Now let's talk security. As part of effort to curb the growing cases of illicit drug use among young people in the state, the Rivers State Police Command says it has launched a statewide campaign against cultism and drug abuse. Police spokesperson SP Grace Iringikoko says the campaign, organized in collaboration with the Police Campaign Against Cultism and Other Vices, is part of the command's ongoing commitment to keeping residents safe. She says the program, tagged Cultism, Drug Abuse and My Academics, is focused on enlightening students about the dangers of joining cult groups or engaging in drug abuse. SP Iringikoko adds that the initiative also aims to promote a safer learning environment and encourage young people to embrace peace and positive lifestyle. Still talking security, the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army says its troops have shut down 8 illegal oil refineries and arrested several suspected oil thieves across the Niger Delta. This is according to the Acting Deputy Director of Public Relations, Lieutenant Colonel Danjuma Jonah. Now, in Rivers State, the Army spokesperson says troops destroyed a newly built illegal refining site in Joinkrama 4 in Ahoda West, recovering over 3,500 liters of stolen crude oil, along with ovens, drums, and pipes. He added that along Aba Road in Oyibo, troops also intercepted a red Mercedes-Benz vacuum truck carrying more than 3,000 liters of stolen crude oil, and it was not restricted to just Rivers State. Lieutenant Colonel Jonah says similar raids were carried out in parts of Imo, Akwa Ibom, and Bayelsa State, all aimed at ending oil theft and protecting the environment. These raids were carried out from September 21st to October 5th, 2025. And now some residents of Muonyili local government area have staged a peaceful protest over what they describe as a sacrilegious act allegedly carried out by a faction of the Brown Chieftaincy House in Finima. During the protest, the youth leader of Muonyili, Anthony Banigo, called for an investigation into the attack that occurred during a Tobin House masquerade display, which reportedly led to theft, property destruction, injuries, and acid burns on members of the Tobin Chieftaincy House. Banigo also accused the police in Finima of allegedly aiding those behind the violent act.
On Saturday, the 27th of September 2025, a neighboring community, a neighboring village of the Tobin House came out in their numbers to intimidate, to harass members of the Konibonye Awanta House, who were on the peaceful display of their culture and heritage. People were baited with acid, people were cut with knives.
At a separate briefing, Chairman of the Tobin Chieftaincy House Elders Council, Wario Puseni Darlington Tobin, claimed the attack was an attempt to sabotage national assets in the kingdom.
Our members were subjected to unspeakable horror. Matches, broken bottles, and acids were unleashed on innocent celebrants. Costumes, totems, ancient crafts, and priceless cultural regalia were destroyed and looted away. We hereby call on the Nigerian security agencies to arrest and prosecute all identified assailants in the trending videos that perpetrated the attack. The Commissioner of Police should redeploy the Divisional Police Officer of Finimas, who is evidently biased.
Also speaking, the chairman of the Boni Chieftaincy House's Youth Leaders Forum, Karibi Daba, and the youth leader of the Tobin Chieftaincy House, Tobin Gift, called for the immediate arrest and prosecution of those responsible.
What happened that day was a taboo in our custom and tradition, an insult to the custom and tradition of Grand Boni Kingdom. It has never happened before. Everybody that has participated in this crime should be brought to book.
On the 27th of September 2025, we were carrying out our display as traditional demands, the Owogbo of Tobin Chieftaincy House. And we were attacked by our sister houses, came with their acid, guns, bottles, machetes, and all sorts of weapons to come and attack us on that day. It was the grace of God that I survived it. Those people that have perpetrated this act should be brought to book. They should be arrested. The government should come to our aid. The governor, the CP, the IG, everybody should look into this matter and let them be arrested.
Our correspondent reports that efforts to reach the other faction of the Brown Chieftaincy House have been unsuccessful, as messages sent to their representatives since Friday have not been acknowledged. Meanwhile, spokesperson for the Rivers State Police Command, SB Grace Iring-Koko, says the police are investigating the matter and that the outcome of the investigation will be made public. We're not done with security matters now. This time, let's inform you that the traditional ruler of Omoma, His Majesty King Barrister Onyekachi Amonwo, has assured the police of continuous cooperation as part of effort to strengthen security in the area. The Omoma traditional ruler made this known when the Divisional Police Officer of Omoma, CSP David Mbevua, visited the Eze's Palace in Eberi, with the traditional rulers from across Omoma were also present. Eze Omoma described the visit as timely and assured the police of continuous cooperation, saying the community already holds monthly meetings that include all security agencies. He noted that Omoma remains one of the most peaceful local government areas in Rivers State and pledged more support to security agencies, adding to the computers he earlier donated to the Omoma Police Command. In his remarks, CSP Mbevua thanked the monarch and his council for their hospitality and promised to sustain the partnership between the police and traditional institutions to keep the area safe. His Majesty King Barrister Onyekachi Amonwo also urged residents to support the DPO and his team in maintaining peace and security in the local government area. From Omoma, let's go to Eche. The Eche Local Government Council has ordered all dredging companies operating in the area to suspend their activities immediately, pending proper verification of their licenses and environmental clearances. The chairman of Eche Local Government Area, Chima Boniface Njoko, gave the order in an interview with correspondent Martha Okere. He says this decision became necessary because the Federal Ministry of Mining and Solid Minerals Development has failed to protect the people of Eche from illegal and reckless dredging by several companies. Njoko warned that any company operating without proper documentation, EIA approval, or a community agreement will be declared illegal and prosecuted according to the law.
As a chair local government chairman, I will not blindfold my eyes and allow them to collapse a chair. I say they should pack it and go. They should leave a chair. If we don't have environmental audit, they should go. I gave them 2 weeks to furnish a chair local government with their CDA, a community development agreement. Let me see how you come into these localities and start dredging. The sand, we don't know where it's road because of sand dump. The sand dump have covered the road, and we will suffer before we get this road. As a council, we say no.
He added that dredging should bring development, not destruction, insisting that the people of Eche will no longer tolerate any activity that threatens their environment and well-being.
I want to see what they have done to all these communities. Show me one solar light is as cheap as we are doing this type of business. These communities are not feeling the impact. If they cannot do light, open borehole for them. If he cannot open, do a kilometer road for my people. Because whether I like it, it's a personal business. You are not doing for federal government. You remit only your percentage to federal government and the state. You pay a tax. But the local government, federal government cannot allow a local government to die.
The Iche chairman noted that indiscriminate dredging has caused serious environmental damage, destroyed farmlands and properties, polluted rivers and streams, and endangered the livelihood and safety of residents.
They give them peanuts, they were happy. The side effect, who cannot get atabla in a river because of this so-called dredgers, who cannot get crab, that river is fresh water, who can't get it, who can't get it, bro. Other fishes, who can't get it because of personal interest dredging.
Still in Iche, the chairman of the Anti-Land Grabbing Land Acquisition Management and Development Committee in Iche local government area, Chief Muonyili, has ordered all real estate companies and individuals involved in land transactions in Iche to hold operations immediately. He says they must first present themselves at the council headquarters in Okehi, Iche for verification of their land titles and inspection of their site. In a statement, Chief Muonyili warned that anyone operating without the committee's approval is doing so at their own risk. He adds that the committee's goal is to make Iche a safe and conducive environment for legitimate businesses, free from the menace of land grabbing. Still to come, a former Edo governor has asked President Jonathan not to contest the 2027 elections. Plus, we have the latest health report of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. Stay with us.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back. Now, a middle-aged man, David Innocent, from Emoha local government area, is appealing to security agencies and the public to help find his younger brother, 23-year-old Anthony Innocent, who's been missing since July 20th. Mr. Innocent told a correspondent that Anthony traveled to Lagos on July 15, but communication with him was lost 5 days later while on a trip from Lagos to Anambra State.
So his friend tested him if he missed his way. There was no reply from him. So his friend now had to called him. His line rang only once. I now had to relate to my family. We wanted to do the tracking. Police were taking too long. So we now had to go through the NTN. And then it was showing that his line was last on. I had to post something around Benin Edo Expressway. That was where his line were last on.
He said phone tracking showed Anthony's last known location was along the Benin-Edo Expressway. Mr. Innocent added that the family has reported the case to the police in Rivers and Anambra State and even reached out to motor parks in Anambra, but all efforts have failed so far.
We escalated it. My elder sister, who stays in Benin there, had to go down to the place where the tracking was showing to also go to the police station to file a missing person report. We have done all we could as family. The Nigerian police so far is not giving any help. That is why we are trying to reach out to any platform, anybody, anyone at all who could help us with any useful information at this time. We will be very, very grateful.
He described his brother as 6 feet tall, slightly dark in complexion, and wearing dreadlocks. To national stories. The Nigerian Medical Association has completed the court-ordered medical examination of detained IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. NMA Secretary General Dr. Ben Ebo confirmed to the Punch newspaper that a team of 8 medical experts from different specialties assessed Kanu's health and submitted their reports to the Attorney General of the Federation as directed by the court. The Federal High Court in Abuja had earlier ordered the examination to determine whether Kanu should be transferred to the National Hospital for treatment. Meanwhile, Kanu's lawyers have petitioned the World Medical Association, alleging that his health has worsened due to poor medical care in DSS custody. They also urged the WMA to ensure Kanu receives proper treatment and that independent doctors are protected from interference. In politics now, former Edo State Governor Adams Oshiomhole has urged former President Goodluck Jonathan not to succumb to pressure to contest the 2027 presidential election, saying doing so would tarnish his legacy. Speaking on Channels Television, Oshiomhole said only those who do not wish Jonathan well would encourage him to run again. He maintained that the former president would be defeated by the All Progressives Congress if he decides to contest. Recall that Jonathan, as the PDP candidate, lost the 2015 presidential election to Muhammadu Buhari of the APC. In business, banking on your phone just got easier. EcoBank Nigeria has rolled out an upgraded mobile app that promises to make banking faster, smarter, and simpler. The new app comes with facial recognition, QR code payment, seamless bill payment, and even live monitoring of foreign exchange rates. EcoBank's managing director Bolaji Lawal says it's all about offering real convenience, security, and flexibility. The bank's executive director of commercial and consumer banking, Kola Adeleke, calls it not just a digital tool, but a new way to engage with customers. You can download the app on the App Store and Google Play Store. EcoBank Nigeria is a member of the EcoBank Group, the leading Pan-African banking group operating in 33 African countries, with international offices in London, Paris, Beijing, and Dubai. And now in entertainment, Opeyemi Imisi Ayowale has been crowned winner of Big Brother Naija Season 10, taking home the 150 million naira grand prize and the title of Nigeria's newest reality. Apologies for that. Now, Opeyemi Imisi Ayowale has been crowned winner of Big Brother Niger Season 10, taking home the 150 million naira grand prize and the title of Nigeria's newest reality TV superstar. Her victory comes after 10 intense weeks of strategy, alliances, emotional highs and lows, and plenty of drama in the house. The grand finale on Sunday night saw 9 housemates battle for the top spot, with Dede finishing as runner-up. On the foreign scene, a former senior UN official and humanitarian, Professor Mukesh Kapila, says Africa's voice remains weak at the United Nations. Speaking on Nigerian FM's Borderlines, Professor Kapila described the UN as a stage where powerful nations set the agenda, often sidelining weaker ones. He also warned that a new genocide may be unfolding in Sudan's Darfur region and criticized African leaders for failing to respond decisively.
Essentially, let's come back.
In order to build a better world, you have to endure the suffering. Now, that's an easy thing for me to say, sitting here in comfort in my home in Geneva. And it's a very hard thing to say for me, and I find it difficult to say. But the fact is, nothing better has come out. No change has happened without enduring a great deal of suffering. And I'm afraid, whether it's in Sudan or some other countries, there is still a huge volume of suffering yet to endure.
We're going on a short commercial break now.
The University of Port Harcourt is on the path
of Aba and Rivers United resulted in a goalless draw at the Aba International Stadium. The game saw a clash of former coaches involving Finidi George of Rivers United and Ayimba Stanley Eguma. In Spain, Barcelona's week went from bad to worse on Sunday when they were thrashed 4-1 by home side Sevilla after losing 2-1 to PSG in the midweek Champions League game. Join the Sports Gang for more updates from 7:05 a.m. after the business news. And that's the news for this hour. But before we go, here's a look at the headlines once again. We told you about the meeting between Governor Fubara, FCT Minister Wike, and Speaker Amikwili in Port Harcourt. You also heard a labor law expert speak on the governor's plan to punish erring permanent secretaries, noting he can act independently. We told you how the Rivers State Police Command has launched a campaign against drug abuse and cultism, and we reported that the Nigerian Medical Association has completed examination on IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu's health. The news was edited by Ufoma Ebamano. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili. Many thanks for listening.